Hey guys, it is Yishan here. I've been getting a lot of requests for a Gren Maju deck profile. And well, I've been in the lab, I've been working on it. It's here. I've got a couple of old goodies for you guys. As you could probably see, we got some Golden Castle in here. I'm going to sort of try to explain why I think this is a really good build for the Power of the Elements format. It's been a while since I've been played Golden Castle. It's one of my, most nostalgic versions. And I wanted to show you guys the deck list. So, okay, let's go deck. So we got, 3, Gizmek. Okay. Just the best card in the deck. You can even see all the pure punk decks playing it. So it's got a good home besides Gren Maju. This card was just waiting to be good for so long, and, it's still good in this deck. Fantastic. I'm on the 2 Gren Maju, 2 Eater of Millions package. This is a concession just to the fact that it's like harder and harder to get Gren Maju off, especially with only 2 desires. And so you already have a lot of normal summons in this deck when you're playing Castle. And you never want to draw 2 Gren Maju because it's really, these cards, both of these are sort of like draw 1 each and you're sort of good. So I've been enjoying the 2/2/2. It's like, obviously Gren Maju is not the most competitive deck, but it's super fun. And it's like a compromise between like winning more and playing these as well. You still want to play these because it gives you that like OTK potential through D-Shifter. And this is a sort of a deck where a lot of times you're summoning Gren Maju on the second turn. You sort of break the board the first turn with Castle. Second turn, you go Gren Maju. So I'm really liking the 2/2/2. It's been breaking a lot less for me. And so I've enjoyed that. Okay, let's talk Castle Engine. This is an oldie. Nothing new here except for the fact that I am playing 3 Glyph and only 2 Castle. Now, this is going to seem a little strange to perhaps the uninitiated, but this is something that I've been really enjoying. So I think it's pretty well established. I've done the math that if you want to draw exactly 1 Castle, playing 5 is the best in a 40 card deck. Now, you can play any configuration of Castle and Glyph, right? But I thought, okay, well, Castle sometimes is a brick. Sometimes I have Castle with nothing left in my deck, right? Whereas Glyph at least has utility to being able to summon it and pop it, right? It's a little bit better against anti-spell fragrance. And it's just overall like you have more stuff to summon with your Castle, and you almost never in a situation where you'd rather have the 3rd Castle. Only time you regret it is when you've banished 2 Castles and you would have had the 3rd one left in your deck. You draw that Glyph and you've banished less than like you still have a Hextreat in your deck. So many things have to go right, whereas I just like the utility of having Glyph better. Actually, there's no like punishing for searching. Droll is much less common now in the format, and so I think we can get away with this. And if you haven't tried it already, I think I'd recommend you try that configuration of Castle. Okay, so another reason that is good, Castle is good, is because of Dimension Shifter. Okay, Dimension Shifter is one of the most interesting and polarizing cards in the format, and I think you have to play it. But when you play Dimension Shifter, you want to be able to OTK your opponent the next turn, right? And Castle does a much better job of that because it lets you just summon a level 8 for free, like unconditional, right? Whereas, Alpha or Kaiju Slumber or Kaijus don't actually do anything if your opponent doesn't have a good board. Hextreat is sort of always good. It goes after the back row, and you need good follow-up with the D-Shifter, right? So I'm playing 3 D-Shifter. Just the format is so powerful. It's good against Tier Element, good against Splight. So still really powerful, I think, in this format. Now, one of the big reasons I'm playing Castle is because I think Lava Golem is outstanding this format. So you also want to play, this is with the printing of some new fusion monsters, you want to play Superpoly as well. And we'll get to the Superpoly in a bit, but I wanted to sort of show off the Lava Golem because, okay, it's like a conflict, right? You want to either play Kaijus or Lava Golem. Lava Golem is really an all-star of this format, but if you're going to play Lava Golem, you don't want to play normal summon engines like Fairy Tail Luna or Deep Sea Diva, but Lava Golem works with Golden Castle. So Golden Castle states that you can't normal summon the turn you activate the effect. Lava Golem states the same thing, right? So they're both technically using your normal summon, but they're both special summons, right? So they kind of work together in that front. And so I think Lava Golem combos best with the Golden Castle and with the D-Shifter, right? It's just like you're playing a lot of going second cards for this deck. And of course, it's also level 8, which gives you the trade-in possibilities, as well as, if you somehow steal with triple tactics, or it's you can also bounce it back to your hand with the next card, which is Alpha. I think Alpha is just the best level 8 monster along with Gizmek right now. Those are still the best. We haven't gotten really a better one since Alpha, and I mean, it's pretty rare that you do the Alpha bounce Lava Golem because you're usually getting rid of so many monsters, but when that comes up, I mean, that's just huge, right? So I really, really like this card still. I think it's probably still one of the best cards in the deck. And then what am I doing? I'm still playing the 3 danger package because I just think that this deck is not meta and the dangers are high roll, and sometimes you roll high and other times you're going to roll low, and that's okay. Like, you're going to have to live with that fact. I think, I've cut these down to 2, but then when you have a D shifter, it's just too slow. Like, you can't OTK enough. And so I like playing 3 still. And I think it's good. And then I have 1 Pankratops. This card is really good, but not super amazing against the meta. I sometimes want to cut it out for more draw cards, and we'll get to the draw cards in a second, the rest of the spells, but it's just so good against non-meta decks. It's just killer against a lot of matchups. So really, really like Pankratops still. I wish it was level 8, but you can't have everything. Okay, so some old toys made good by new cards. We have 3 super polymerization. Obviously, I think you've heard by now there's a new fusion super poly target called Garura, which makes this card playable against both Sprite and Tier Element. I mean, I wouldn't say it's super fantastic, but it's good. It's good. We can say that it's good. It can get rid of Elf plus a level 2, or, the Toad. Lots of good things going for it. And so there's some good stuff there. It's just it finally can play Super Poly again. When you play Super Poly, you don't want to play too many Kaijus and too many Slumbers because you're wanting to Super Poly your opponent's monsters. So that's why I think 3 Super Poly, 3 Lava Golem, really, really good. 3D Shift, we got 9 good going second cards that are solid this format. And, they put stuff on the board, which I really, really like. And, as I always said, Gren Maju has really been a Super Poly deck. And when you can play Super Poly, the deck I think is pretty strong because you have the chance to summon those level 8s with Super Poly. 2 Desires, I would play 3 if I could. But it's semi-limited. Hopefully it comes back in expand list. The rest of the draw cards, I have 2 triple tactics and 2 traded. Part of me wants to bump these guys all up to 3 because they're just so powerful. I don't know. I don't have the space, and sometimes they can brick a little bit. The reason why do I have 2 and 2? Well, personally, there's just no space. That's the same reason as why I have 2 Gren and 2 Eater. There's not that much space. The funny thing is, when you play more triple tactics and more trade-ins, the chance you draw more triple tactics is increased, right? So the more draw cards you play, the more likely it is you're going to draw 2 triple tactics, where the less you play, you're going to see it less often, but you're less of the time you're going to draw 2. I've been enjoying this. I think triple tactics is really strong. I can see putting it to 3. There's a 40th card as a Duster in the main deck right now, and I'm not sure if this card is worth it. You could play 3 triple tactics, 3 trade-in, or something else like that. Triple tactics is super strong. I just really like it for the draw 2. It's just really, really nice. But yeah, I think, obviously Harpies has its blowout potential as well. And so, there's that. So that's to be considered. But yeah, let's go extra deck first, because I think there's at least the newest card is in the extra deck. We're still playing the package. Okay, the package is this, right? And we have a lot of space in the extra deck because we're not playing the Synchro engine, but we are playing Super Poly. But yeah, of course, Draglubion package comes up a lot with D-Shifter. It's going to come up a lot in this deck with the castles, because you're just going to be being able to make more rank 8s. So of course, this package still very, very good. Okay, the Zeus package. We have Zeus. We have the Pain Gainer, we have the 7 Sins, and we have the Dingirsu. This is the only optional one in the extra deck, but I really, really like it. Basically, you stack it on top of the Pain Gainer, and it just gives you something with 4,000 attack. It also lets you use Pain Gainer's effect to clear monsters that have pretty low defense, right? So you can sort of clear everything and use Dingirsu to go after a back row to save a Zeus end. Also, just having the 4,000 beater is really, really nice. I think it's worth it. It just comes up so much. I think it's worth it, and you're not really strapped for space. Okay, the rest of the rank 8s. I think right now you got to play the Photon Lord. Why? Well, the truth is there's nothing good against tier elements to prevent them from playing, and this seems like the only good card. Like when you're in a grind state and you need to just negate the monster effect, there's nothing else you can do. All the other cards kind of suck. Zeus doesn't really that effective, so I think you got to play the Photon Lord right now. Part of me wants to play one Galaxy Cyclone. This can search Galaxy spell and traps from your deck. Which is pretty cool. You could cut this maybe. That's a secret play, but I don't know if I'm gonna commit that hard because I don't really summon this card too much. But it is good against tier and other random situations if you want to play around hand traps. The Lancelot, this is still pretty, this comes up all the time. To be able to negate something while dealing, like attacking directly, comes up a lot to kill. And then this is the sketchier ones. I'm playing Xenophon still. It's not that great in the current meta. I mean, it can come up. Another option I've seen and I want to try is Coach King Giant Trainer. That's the rank 8 that takes 3 level 8 monsters, and that can draw you into your side deck cards game 1 and win in time. I just don't own one right now, and you could play like a Link instead of this as well, or maybe another Super Poly target. I'm not sold on the Xenophon in this format, but it certainly could come up. And then, okay, we got some Super Poly targets. So our newest one, Garura, Wings of Resonant Life. This is a huge, huge one because it's really, really good in the meta. And what I really like about it is it goes well with Mud Dragon, because basically any 2 monsters with the same attribute, you can Super Poly now, right? So that's really, really, really strong. I like that a lot. And, so these 2 cover a wide variety of cards. And then, of course, Dragostapelia, really, really good in the format right now. And then the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, which just comes up all the time because Dark is probably the most common attribute. And I only have 1 link right now. I rarely ever link some in this deck, but it is Nightmare Phoenix. Honestly, this one comes up the most. Maybe Dark is worth playing because you could play it like you could link Garura off to get the draw, maybe Reborn something to OTK in that way. But right now there's just a Phoenix. You could play Dark instead of the Xenophon. But yeah, that's that. I think that's a pretty good extra deck. Pretty solid. And really good. I really like, you're not playing the synchros anymore, so you have extra space. Because side deck, I still believe 3 TC Boo, really, really strong. Pretty good against Splight. I mean, not like broken against Splight, but pretty good. It's good against just a lot of random stuff. So probably one of the best like floodgates that hits a lot of decks. I'm also on the 3 summon limit. I just think this card is pretty strong against Sprite. Of course, you still have to play around Smashers. That's like sort of, I don't even know if Smashers can banish Spell and Traps. Forgive me, I actually don't know. I'm sure a little bit new, but I think it's just one of the most solid floodgates right now. It just hits too much stuff. This is mostly a floodgate. I'm playing 3 DDG right now. I don't know if this card's actually worth it. I think Dimension Dull Barrier might be better, but this card has like good applications against other decks, but like it's not as good against like Branded Fusion. The idea is like, okay, against like tier elements, this card is basically the same as Dimensional Barrier, but it's not as good against Branded Fusion, and it can't negate stuff that's already on the field. It's also like if you're still playing the Sword Soul, it's not as good. It's pretty good against Sprite, but not, I wouldn't say amazing. So I'm not sold. It could be D-Barrier as well, or it could be something else. Back removal, 3 Lightning Storm, 1 Red Reboot. Pretty self-explanatory. And then I think 2 really, really good floodgates I really like right now, Macro and D-Fissure. Just so good against tier. And D-Fissure is like just excellent against tier, because even going second, this card is fantastic, right? So I just slap it down, and it's like kind of like, damn, like it's even good on my turn because all their stuff needs to like send to grave, right? So I really, really like Dimensional Fissure and Macro right now. So that's basically the deck. For siding patterns, I mean, mostly this stuff is for going first. What I usually do is I take the weakest cards out of the main deck. I don't care if my opponent makes me go first or second. If they make me go, like, I'm going to side for going first just in case, and they make me go second, hopefully I can break their board and then still set the floodgate to try to stun them next turn. So I'm almost just putting in the best floodgate cards for that matchup and sort of forcing them to either decide to go first again, or or they want to side in back removal. That's sort of okay, like they could brick on it, right? So I mean, that's sort of like the thoughts right there. So that's my side deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been working on this deck for a while. It's amazing how a new Super Poly target can really change the outlook of Gren Maju. Let me know what you guys are experimenting with. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one, guys. Look forward to some new videos. And subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. We're almost at 10,000. Isn't that crazy? Almost at 10,000. Well, not almost, but it's in my sights. And so I really appreciate it. It was my original goal when I started the YouTube channel. But yeah, other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know how your Gren Maju games go, and I will see you on the next one.